Hey there everyone, Anirudh here, and let's continue with our video. So in our previous video, we completed a concept of internet, a network, and IP address. So in this video, we will continue with the next topic called as a DNS, which states as a domain name system, and then we will see some of the protocols like transfer protocols and transport protocols, and then application layer protocols. A bit introduction of that. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, so yeah, till now what we did, as I said, network is done, network is done, and internet net and the concept about the IP address is completed. Okay, so now let's start to another topic called as an DNS. DNS. Okay, so yeah, let's start with it. So now, before going to the DNS, we'll just see about some functionalities of a browser. So let us just see browser. So consider this is a browser. Okay. As a user, if I type anything to the browser, it gets me the output. Let us take an example. If I just type chai code .com. If I type chaycode.com, then the browser will route me to the Chaycode website. Just see an example. Okay, this is my browser where this URL is visible, this whole picture is visible, and many more things. If I just type chaycode.com, if I just enter, it got me to the Chaycode's website. Okay, this is the basic functionality of a browser. Okay, so now the question comes out to the question comes is, how do a browser know where is this chai code being hosted? Okay, let me explain it once again. Okay, so every website is being hosted to a particular device. Like just an example, if I take, okay, this is an server. Okay, this is an server. Uh, this is a server which is hosted at an IP address something, let us say 12.12.12 and 12. Okay, so this is an IP address of this server, and my chaycode.com is hosted. My chaycode.com This chaycode.com is hosted over here. Okay, this chaycode.com is hosted in my this server whose IP address is points to be 12.12.12.12. Okay, so what does the browser does is basically, if we type chaycode.com, it will take us to this server where chaycode.com is hosted, and then we will get a interface like this because it provides the data. Okay, the same question comes into our mind is, how does the browser know where this chaycode.com is hosted? Like, it doesn't know the IP address of the chaycode.com because there are millions of websites being hosted over the internet. And how would the browser store, or how would the browser recognize where is the what is the IP address of a particular fancy fancy name of the website? Okay, let us go into depth of that. Okay. Just what was the question of what was the question? Let us just write. How does the browser know? How does the browser know where the particular website is being hosted, or what is its IP? What is its IP? What is its IP address? Okay. So this is the main thing. Okay, let me just zoom in. Okay, yes. So this is the main question. Like, okay, where is the how does the browser know where does that particular website is being hosted, so that the browser could route us to the particular place where we get the Chicode website, just like this. If we type chicode.com, it will route us to this website. So how does the browser know what is its IP address and similar things? Okay, so let us understand. From here, we will get to and we will enter to a particular topic called as DNS. From here, we will get another topic to understand, that is domain name system, that is DNS. DNS. So yeah, you got it. But how does the browser get to know? It asks the IP address of a particular particular website name from DNS, and DNS provides its IP address. Okay, let us just see the first definition of the DNS, and then finally we will get into our explanation. Okay, so what is and DNS? Okay, so if you see, DNS stands for domain name system. It is a phone book of an internet, translates the human readable domain names. Just see, human readable domain names like example.com, chicode.com. These are the human readable. Okay, if we write the chicode.com, we will understand that okay, it's here where the chicode website is been hosted. Okay, we will understand. But what about the browser? What about the machine? Machine doesn't know the fancy English language. So what does a domain name system does is it translates the human readable domain names into an machine readable IP addresses. What just I explained before, this IP addresses is the one which the machine understands. So it converts the human readable to machine readable, and it gives it to the browser. So from here the browser gets the IP address, and it will route to the particular place where the website is being hosted. Okay, clear. So now DNS is really simple. So it could be simple as it is defined as it is simple, but no, it is a bit complex thing. So if we understand under the how does the DNS works under the hood, let us just understand. Okay, let us just understand. So what exactly concept is basically? So we have a browser. Okay, this is a browser. This is a browser. So and this is my DNS. If I oh sorry, this is my DNS. DNS. So now browser, whatever the user types, like example chicode.com. If a user types a chicode.com, the chicode.com actual IP address of chicode.com is basically something like just example 12.12.12.12. Okay, if the IP address of the chicode.com is if the IP address of chicode.com is this. Okay, so what is it? Just like in a short and simple way, if you want to understand the DNS, what exactly it does basically, when we write a chicode.com on the browser, what does the browser do is browser first asks the DNS, hey DNS, just give me the IP address of chicode.com. Okay, and DNS what it does is it searches for how it goes under some several processes. We'll discuss it some later. It goes under some processes, and then it returns an IP address stating that hey browser, take your particular response as an IP address of a checkout. So it provides the IP address. IP. The DNS provides the IP, so that the browser gets this IP, and it takes us to the particular website where the website is hosted. So that it is a whole process. It's a whole process of simple and clear example of DNS, how the DNS works. So like if we summarize a small thing, let's summarize it. Okay, so we type chicode.com into the browser. Now the browser don't know where it is been hosted. So what it does, it goes and asks DNS, hey DNS, just provide me an IP address of this fancy website name. Okay. So DNS, what is the DNS? DNS is a phone book of internet's phone book, where all the IP address of the websites is been found. It's not stored, but it is found some after applying some of the operations. Okay, then it returns the particular IP address of this chai code. So now the browser gets the address. Now after getting the address, the browser is just goes to the particular website. Okay, this is what a technical short explanation for a DNS working, the DNS resolution. Okay, so this small thing we will just understand with a small example. Okay, so now let us take an delivery boy and just ignore the spelling. Okay, we have a delivery boy. Okay, we have a delivery boy. Okay, and we have been asked the delivery boy to transfer the data, transfer the transfer the food to a particular man. Like just to say we just told, okay, just give this item to Anirudh. Okay, if someone says give this item to Anirudh, the delivery boy says who is Anirudh, what is his address. This delivery boy does not know what is the actual address of this Anirudh. So what it does, it asks somebody else. Okay, this delivery boy asks somebody else, let us say some another person another person and states that hey, another delivery boy says hey, another person, what is an address of this Anirudh. So what does another person does? Another person goes on into some several steps, like the another person will call and searches for here and there, and finally he returns a address of Anirudh Vernikar, that is Belagavi. After the delivery boy gets this Belagavi, finally he will travel to Belagavi and gets me the item, delivers the item. This whole process is nothing but the DNS. Like in this case, the delivery boy is a browser, another person is a DNS, a Belgavi is an IP, and finally transferring is the routing towards the particular website. Okay, is that very clear? Yeah. So finally, DNS is a short understanding of DNS is very clear. Okay. Okay. So Nirod, is it really this kind of simple a DNS is? I'll say it is not that simple. It's not that simple. Under the hood, it goes under several steps, which is called as a recursive DNS resolution. And then finally, we will get a IP address. And then after getting the IP address, the browser travels us to browser takes us to the particular website that we have asked it for. Okay, so and then finally, okay, this is done. So now let's get, so how does the DNS how does the DNS, just a second, yeah, DNS works under the hood. Okay, so if we get into a strong understanding of DNS, so before going to that, we'll just mm, we'll just understand some another concept called as a DNS records. Yeah, DNS records. We'll understand a small concept of DNS records. DNS records. Okay, DNS record. So let us understand what is DNS records. So till now, what we did is basically, okay, the browser was asking the DNS person to tell that to asking for the IP of a particular website. Okay, and this DNS was providing some response. So now the thing is, what type of response has been sent by the DNS server? What type? So based on that, like, is it a IP address, or is it another name of an website, or is it a error, or whatever it may be. So what type of data is been coming towards the browser? From there, the topic of DNS records comes into picture. Okay, so DNS records, there is a one record called as A record, which tells that the A record is basically in A type of a record. In A type of record, our IP address is been stored. In A type of record, IP address is been stored. Okay, IP address is been stored. IP address. So if the DNS provides us a record, not an RA, it's just a record. If our DNS, if it provides a record, then it means that okay, in A record, IP address has been stored. Okay. Similarly, there are another record called as a NS record. What does the NS record says that? Okay, so let us take an example. Okay, the browser asked DNS to tell us that chicode.com ka IP address. Okay, so now what does the DNS tell that? I don't know. Let just ask another person about this. So it returns the another person. For example, I just browser asked for chicode.com. The DNS provides another website name, like let us say Hostinger or Netlify, and tells that okay, I don't know the IP address of the chai code. You just ask for the Netlify. So that another fancy name is nothing but the NS record. What does it tell? If I just see, it provides an another fancy website name, so that another one more DNS resolution has to be done. Has to be done. Okay. So yeah. So this, after learning these two records, we'll finally get into how does a DNS works under the hood. Okay. So how does a DNS go? So let us take we'll take once again a browser. Okay, we have a browser. Okay. So if I just a second, if I just ask of the user when a user asks a browser tech, I want chicode.com ka website. Okay, website, and it is hosted in some IP address. So the browser doesn't know where is this chicode.com hosted. So what does the browser do? It goes and asks for an DNS, asks for an DNS, and finally DNS returns the IP address. Okay, this was the thing what we have. Okay, so this was the thing previously we have understood. Yeah. So what does the DNS returns? It returns the IP address. IP address. Okay, but it's not the simple steps that I'm telling. It's not that simple. If once the browser asks the IP address of the code, the DNS also doesn't know. First, the DNS goes to an another server called as a root server. Root server. Okay. It first goes and asks the root server, and asks, hey, root server, do you know where is this chicode.com? Okay, it asks DNS asks the chicode.com about the root server. The root server says, I don't know about the chicode.com. I will provide some place where all the data of .com is present. Like okay, it provides it provides it provides the it provides the place where all .com .com data is being stored. Okay, it provides a .com data. Now DNS once again goes to once again it travels to .com and asks, hey .com, do you have the chicode.com ka address? The .com says, okay, I have another place where the actual IP address of the chicode.com is present. Another place where chicode.com is present. So now after DNS, last DNS goes to the another place. This provides an this provides a final IP address of the particular chicode.com. It returns the chicode.com. Okay. So finally, the another place returns the DNS, the IP address, and this IP address is been transferred back to the browser. So, so now in order to get a single IP address of a particular website, there is a lot of steps behind the lot of steps that is to be undergone in order to get the IP address. So what does the browser says? I'm not gonna do all these steps. It just says that I will only interact with this one. I only interact with this person, so that I'll just interact with this person and ask the IP for that, and finally you provide me the IP. Okay, what does the browser says that, okay, I don't want this whole process to carry out for all the websites. So what it does, hey, browser says that, hey DNS, I don't know about what exactly steps you are carrying out inside under the hood. I don't know about that. You only give me whatever I'm asking. Like if a browser asks IP for the chai code, you directly give me the IP address of that chai code. I don't know how you are getting, but finally I want the IP address. You do whatever you want. So that so this whole system is called as recursive. This whole block is called as recursive DNS. So this is called as a recursive DNS, which undergoes such whole steps, like it goes to root server, then it comes out to be TLD. This is called as an TLDs. After that, it is something that um main server. Okay, TLDs, and then finally you got some hierarchy, and then it gets the IP, and finally it returns back to the browser. So this whole process is done in a recursive manner. We'll just get into that afterwards. Recursive manner, and then finally it returns back to the browser. Okay, so till now we were just understanding, okay, browser asks IP for DNS provides it. It's not that simple. It asks the IP for the DNS, but DNS undergoes such a long process of recursion, and then finally it gets the IP address. Okay, is this very clear? Okay, yeah. Okay, this is the recursive DNS concept is done, and whatever the each process, so each process undergoing, that process called as recursive. This process is called as DNS resolution. Like what does the DNS resolution tells that? Okay, whom next should I talk with? Okay, so just an example is a recursive DNS. First of all, the browser gets into the recursive DNS. This recursive DNS goes to the root server and ask, hey root server, do you know where this chicode.com is been uh, present? The root server says, I don't know about that, but I know something. I know a place where all this .com is being stored. So it returns the address where this .com is being stored. So now the DNS visits to the .com place and ask, hey .com, do you know chicode.com, where is this present? So this tld.com will say that, okay, I don't know about exactly chicode, but I know it's NS record, like another place where the actual chicode.com is present. So okay, DNS once again it goes to another place and ask, hey another place, give me the actual IP address of the chicode. Then the another place provides a CNAME, that is the IP address of the chicode.com. And once the DNS gets the IP address, it returns back to the browser. Is this very clear? In this way, I just summarized the working of an DNS. Okay, I'll just make some of the arrows. It goes to here and it gets back, and once again it goes to here and it gives back the final IP address. Okay, yes. Okay, this is the whole process, and this whole thing, this whole thing is done. It is done by the recursive. This whole thing is been got via the recursion, right? It's a recursive call each and every time going on, and finally it sends back the IP of the particular website which has been asked for. Okay, is this clear? Okay, yeah, this was the DNS resolution and DNS working of a particular website. Okay, and one more, if I wanted to show like how exactly is been DNS stored. Okay, so before that, just tell me, is this very clear? Okay, so yeah, in the second video we just got into how does a browser knows the where the website is being stored, and what is the DNS, how it, what is it like it's a like a phone book of an internet, and how does it gets back the IP address of particular website. Okay, in that we just started with a small understanding, like basic understanding, and then we got into the under the hood, we got into deep of that, and we just saw how does exactly recursive DNS means and how does it exactly work. Okay, so till now the concepts are very clear. Okay, so now with another example, I am just with a providing an a real world example, I am trying to explain the DNS, recursive DNS, the working of recursive DNS. Okay, so I hope that whatever till now just I taught, it is very clear. So let's, if it is clear, we'll just move ahead and take a small example, and we'll summarize, and as well as we'll make our concepts very clear. Okay. Okay, let us see the another picture over here. Okay, let us say an example chai.com, not chai.code, chai.com, which whose IP address is 12.12.12. It is this chai.com is stored in this here. Okay, so this is a whole browser. Okay, so let us say chai code is been hosted at X. Let us say hostinger. This chai code is hosted at a hostinger. Hostinger is a website. Okay, if you could see hostinger. Hostinger is a web hosting platform. Okay, Hostinger is a web hosting platform. Let us say our chai.com is hosted in a Hostinger. Okay, where it provides an NS, it's an which where it provides an what NS record, that is NS Cloudflare. Okay. Okay, this thing is very clear. Okay, now let us see how does the DNS resolution works. So initially the browser, if we type chai.com, browser asks DNS, hey DNS, do you know chai.com ka IP address? Okay, and the DNS does, it goes to a root server. What is a root server? This one. This one is a root server. This one is a root server. Hostinger, where it is hosted, where the website is properly hosted. This is a host. This is a root server. After that, root server tells that, okay, I don't know about the chai.com, but I have a NS record of the chai.com. What is the NS record? Okay, another website which solves the DNS query of this chai.com. Okay, and for this example is Cloudflare. Okay, so it gives me a NS record, and then the DNS goes to the NS record, which is nothing but the Cloudflare. And after going to the Cloudflare, it asks, hey, do you know the IP of Chai code? They say, okay, Cloudflare. Okay, yeah, I have an this NS record is Cloudflare. So this DNS resolution goes, and DNS resolution takes place for the Cloudflare. And as a Cloudflare tells, okay, I have a C name, C name of the Chai code. Okay, so CNAME is also another website name. So again, one more resolution is been taken place, and then finally IP has been found. Once this IP has been found, this is returned to the previous function which has been called, that is the Cloudflare. In a Cloudflare, we had a CNAME. So from CNAME, we got into another call stack and we got an IP address. And once we got an IP address, the base condition has been matched and that has been returned to the previously called function. That is a Cloudflare. And from Cloudflare, who has called the Cloudflare? This NS record. So it goes to the NS record. And who has called this NS record? That was the root server. That was the hostinger. After hostinger, who has called the hostinger? The DNS, the authority DNS has called the hostinger. So this IP address has been taken from here to next Cloudflare, Cloudflare to next NS record, from NS record to next the root server from it where it was called, and from root server uh, it was called by the DNS. So it goes to the DNS, it goes to the DNS, and finally the DNS gets the IP, and then DNS provides this IP to a browser, and then the browser will route the travel to the IP address, that is 12.12, and finally my Chicode website has been found and it has been opened up. Okay, hopefully it is very clear. And once again, if I want to just summarize a small in a short manner, okay, the browser, if you type chai.com to the browser, it asks this whole thing is a DNS. It asks for the root server. Let us say its root server is an hostinger. Okay. It asks the root server, hey root server, do you know the IP address of Chicode? Then the root server replies that, okay, I don't know the exact IP address, but I have an NS record of chai.com. Okay. Then the DNS server tells you, okay, I will conduct an DNS resolution for NS record. This is an DNS resolution for NS record. Is it highlighted? Okay. This is a resolution for NS record. That is nothing but Cloudflare. Okay. So the NS record, it asks the NS record that, okay, do you have an IP address of the chai.com? Then NS record replies that, oh, I don't have an exact IP address, but I have an C name of the chai.com. Okay. So DNS once again conducts an resolution for CNAME. So CNAME and ask the CNAME, hey CNAME, do you know IP address of the chai.com, chai.com? Then the CNAME, yes, I have an IP address, this one. And yes, I have an IP address, so you take this IP address. So from this IP address has been returned back to the NS record because this NS record has called CNAME. So from here it returns to an root server, and from the root server the browser, and from the browser, once the browser gets the IP address, it will directly route to the particular website. This whole process is done whenever we write some website to a browser. The browser conducts this whole DNS resolution and finally gets back to the particular website. Okay, yeah, this was everything about the DNS. I hope it is understandable. I hope you all guys got this. Okay, okay. So yeah guys, I hope this was very clear and the explanation was very understandable and it was very clear, and video quality was also decent, but not bad, but yeah, it was a decent. And yeah, hopefully the the team, the TAs of the chicot.com, hopefully they will like my video, and yeah, hopefully I will be getting selected. Okay, thank you so much everyone. Yes.